How does it feel like being struck by lightning? Honestly, I don't remember. I think I lost in total about 2 weeks of memory. I was windsurfing at East Coast Park. I was out at sea on my windsurfboard. The lightning came, and when everything cleared, I was found face down in the water. Luckily, I had my flotation vest, probably saved my life. That was when I was discovered. I was sent to Changi General Hospital. There was no apparent injury, just that I was not awake, I was not conscious, and when anyone tried to open my eyes like rolled backwards. There was a very slight burn mark on my shoulder. The doctors weren't very sure what had happened because the mark was very slight, so they were like, was it lightning or whatever? So they had to do further investigation, and then that's when they found the hemorrhage. How did the lightning strike change your life? Completely. I actually was convinced that I was in a nightmare. I was convinced that I was in an alternate reality, a parallel universe maybe, and I was just stuck there and just waiting to go back to the way my life was before, because everything had changed. Suddenly I was in bed, I couldn't even sit up. I had double vision, so suddenly my vision was a mess. I couldn't even hold things or get things. I used to teach English, and suddenly I couldn't talk, I couldn't articulate. I could only gesture if I needed things. That was very frustrating. For someone who was so used to communicating and someone who really emphasized on good communication, being a teacher and all, not being able to communicate was beyond words. Yeah. How often do you delve in self-pity? That's a hard one. I would say that I spent the initial 6 months after my accident in very low spirits. Some may say it was depression. I'm pretty sure self-pity had some part to do with it. I mean, probably a huge part of it. One incident in particular stands out. I mean, I live in a HDB maisonette. My room is actually on the 2nd level, but after my accident, my parents had to move my room down to the 1st level. There were so many things I couldn't do, and I was very frustrated with myself. I was really home, but then home didn't feel like home anymore because I wasn't living in my own room. I think I was just waiting for my husband. Well, back then he was my boyfriend. He had been away for about a week, and I was just waiting for him to come back so that I could see him and we could go out, and I could just go out and get a breather. So he came home, and I was also happy, and then it started raining. And because of the rain, my parents were a bit spooked because I had like almost died. So they became very, very protective. So my dad put his foot down, and my dad said, "No, you can't go." I was devastated. Now if you tell me I can't go, okay, then I just wait for the rain to stop. But at that point, it just felt like my whole world had just like collapsed. I was clinging on to William, my husband. I was clinging on to him. I was crying and crying. I couldn't stop. I mean, the rain was heavy. It was very, very heavy. It was very, very loud. But I was louder than the rain because I was crying so hard. Well, just talking about it now, I can feel the heartache back then. So that was one of the most emotional incidents I remember. It's really something so small. Because of what had happened, because of the accumulation of things, it really just exploded. When did I start to get my act together? The moment I decided to get used to a new normal was actually the moment William proposed. He proposed about 6 months after my accident. I couldn't believe that someone would still want to spend his life with me. After I said yes, and after initial, oh, I love you, and he was so happy, right? After that, I told him, you're being very stupid. You're being crazy. We can stop this now. He was just very matter of fact, like, no, I'm not. This is what I want. And that was when I figured that if he had enough faith in me to want to take a gamble with the rest of his life and stick it on me to say, come on, I have enough faith in you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you no matter what. Then I owe it to him. I owe it to my parents, to my family, to all my friends to at least try. That's what I've been doing. To try my best. In life, it's very important to pick our battles, and that's something that I have learned along the way. For example, my speech. When I first woke up, I couldn't speak at all. It's something that I worked on really, really hard. Like every day I would just sit in front of the dining table and I would take a book and then I would read out loud for like an hour a day. My husband and I both work as realtors. So I remember this incident once when I actually appeared and I was actually at a client's place. He told me very abruptly, I don't want you to market my unit anymore. And this is a client that had been very nice and courteous to me before he had ever seen me. I think most people don't expect a realtor who is like me, right? Like I don't walk around and show my client properties. So I guess that in a way that's also picking a battle, because instead of trying to battle, like to get people to accept me for who I am, to accept this realtor that they aren't really ready for, it's so much easier to just do my thing at the back end and then let William handle the front, because this is what we're both really good at. Was getting struck by lightning a tragedy? In all honesty, no. Something like that would cause a lot of changes, and they'll think, oh, this girl in her 20s, she was struck by lightning and her whole life was changed. But to me, the lightning strike was just a change. It was not a tragedy. If anything, I think that it was more of something that brought about a blessing. I don't think anyone expects someone in my position to have a family, but after my accident, I got married and I have 2 little boys now. In September, they'll be 10 and 7. They're very naughty, but they are also very healthy, thank goodness. I have learned so much. I have seen so much, and I have come to appreciate things. I like myself a lot more than who I used to be before that, because back then I was trapped and mired in a lot of things. I was very caught up with things that I feel that right now aren't the priorities that I have anymore. I have changed very much, and I believe for the better.
Hello, we hope that you have enjoyed our videos so far. At OGS, we love the work that we do, but videos like this, especially Canasme, goes through a long process of producing, researching, pre-interviewing, and video editing. So we talk about sensitive issues on Canasme, but not all videos can be monetized.
Right, so YouTube ads alone don't cover the cost of our production. Therefore, we hope that you can join our OGS community and be part of our process. So we'll be posting more extra cards, behind the scenes, and many more. So your support can keep us going. Please help us and join us. We will appreciate it if you can support us.